Hello, everyone. This is Jack Bosch speaking here, and welcome to another episode of the Forever Cash Life Real Estate Podcast, where we're talking about, well, how you can live a life that is full of cash and cash flow through real estate. So today we have a couple here as our special guests, and we're going to talk about the struggles of not being successful, the struggles of being, and ultimately about how to succeed from that and how to come out of that and move on into a successful lifestyle. So with that, let's get started in just a second.
Welcome to the Forever Cash Life Real Estate Investing Podcast with your hosts, Jack and Michele Bosch. Together, let's uncover the secrets to building true wealth through real estate and living a purpose-driven life.
Okay, so we're back, and as mentioned in this episode, we have a very special couple here that is successful in real estate investing, and they are Warren and Michele Davis. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing very good, Jack.
All right, wonderful. Let me put on my glasses so I see you better. No, put it back off. Let's have some fun here. So you're obviously, where do you guys live? You live in Phoenix, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're both in the same city, and you are another couple of our successful land investors, right? Land flippers.
Yes, we are.
Wonderful. Yes. That's awesome to see. And I like the confidence in what you say. Yes, we are. So tell us a story. Like, where did you start? Did you just stumble into land flipping? That's the first thing you ever done, and you immediately had success? Or how is your story? Tell us a little bit about how this all happened.
All right, Warren, go ahead.
Okay. Well, we actually got into real estate investing a few years back, probably about 4 years or so back. And we did not start with land flipping. We actually started with trying to flip houses. And so we learned this process that you were able to do this analysis and you could come up with these deals. And basically, long story made short, we implemented this process. We used to work full time during the day. Then at night, we work until like 10 or 11 o'clock at night doing analysis on how we could get contracts on houses. We worked this for about 8 months or so with zero success. We also had a coach that was assigned to us that would work with us on a weekly basis, cut our sessions off after about 30 minutes. So we struggled all throughout that process. We basically got one deal out of 8 months of work. But when I say we got one deal, that means we got one contract we could put on a house. So then we had one of our contractors go out and look at the house, and he said, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. He said, you need to try to get your money back. So we scrambled and we got our money back on that deal. So basically we made no money in the land flipping, the house flipping side, trying to get a house under contract.
All right. So what was that method based on?
The
method based on, was it like a software? Or was it like?
There was software involved.
It was definitely software involved, and it was a matter of going in and you find these houses supposedly before they hit the MLS, and you could bid on these houses, put a bid out on these houses, and if the seller took your bid, then you could put the house under contract. But there was some software involved, and basically with the coaching and the software together, we went into about $53,000 of debt. And so we're trying to pay on this, but we were making no money. So
it was like we had a carrot dangled in front of us, Jack, because we paid, I think, around $40,000, $45,000 to get in. And then as we started having the calls with the coaches, they said that, hey, in order for you to actually do better, we need another $5,000.
Yes.
So it was like there was always this something more that was needed to get our deals.
Right.
And so that, that was discouraging, because every time we got a phone call from the company, it was about more money. We were like, we need to make some money first here before we get,
Yeah. So I don't want to bash any competition, and you guys, you don't need to tell. I don't want you to even say who that was or anything like that. You just told me that the company was out of Utah, and to be honest, like, we have been offered in our business to work with companies from Utah multiple times, And we just always said no. And there's nothing wrong with Utah. I love people from Utah, right? There's nothing to do with anything. It's just like there is a entire big industry out there. And it's almost like it's been stereotyped as in Utah. Now they sit in other places too, but they're basically just specializing in slamming you over the phone into this big, hard $50,000 kind of things. Every call is about more money. They have some guys on there that just flip pages, like college, not even college kids, like some kids off the street that just like flip pages, go through a script, trying to teach you something that they don't even do or know. And it's really a big ripoff. And the sad part is that these companies, they fold all the time. So probably these companies aren't around anymore, is it?
I don't know. We haven't looked back.
No,
that's probably a good thing. That's probably a good thing. But
they have sent us a couple of email correspondence, asking us about, doing another coaching session with them. I mean, the last one we got, I think, was about 7 months ago or so.
Okay, so they're certainly still around. But the thing is, there's this kind of business model out there that. That's a business model where people get people. They do like radio and television advertising, and they get people into this into this kind of afternoon session, and then from there they go over into a 2-day session, and there it's where they sell them then the big package. Is that kind of the process that you guys followed?
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly, yes.
And the thing is, with that model, now here's the thing. I'm of the opinion that almost every real estate investment technique out there works. Some work better than others. Some work really, really badly. But almost everyone eventually somehow works. But obviously, I mean, 8 months and one bad deal shows that this was one of the ones that probably works really, really badly. But the thing is, they have to charge $50,000 because they have so much overhead and so many people around them. And so much overhead because these crews are traveling and they're advertising, they're paying things, that the only way that they actually break even and make money is through that model. So it's a well-known model that that a lot of companies are following out there. It's definitely not my favorite model because in order to make that model even work, you have to charge $50,000, $60,000 for subpar coaching that has a very low success rate in many cases. So there's only very, very few companies that I know that actually pull this off in any kind of way that, even though they charge $50,000, they at least have a decent success rate. So now what did you do? What did you do next? I mean, where were you in life at that point of time? Do you have jobs? What kind of jobs? What were you doing at that point of time?
That point in time, both of us are working full time and basically still going after our dream to own our own business, to have our own business, and to have a vehicle where we could look for retirement. So both of us still working hard and just looking for the future. And
so then that one you realized is not your tick in the future. As a matter of fact, it took you deeper in the hole. What did you do then?
Well, we started going to these ASREA meetings, real estate meetings, which was very helpful. And
ASREA is the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association, so your local REIA, which happens to be the one I'm a member of too. Yes. Yes,
because that's actually where we saw you come and present for the first time, and we had we were at a very low point, quite honestly, in terms of what we were looking to get out of real estate. But we thought, well, maybe we'll meet somebody or have a contact there that might be able to help us turn this all around. And so honestly, when you came on the stage the first time, I thought, vacant land. This man does vacant land. I can't even conceive of how to make money in that. And if I can't make money with a building on a piece of land, I don't know how I would make money with vacant land. That's what I thought to myself.
Yeah. So share?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we listened to you, and you had offered the members there, because you are a part of the group and you've been with them so long, and you had offered the members there for a Saturday to actually hear a little bit more about it. So Warren and I said, okay, well, we'll go ahead and sign up for that. It can't hurt to hear
That's something that the local REIA asked me to do. So this is typically not what I do. I don't typically go speak around the country like these other companies, but the local REIA is like, well, if you come speak, they invited me to come, and they said like, but we don't want just a 90-minute presentation. We want you to come back and go like in a deep dive and tell people more about it. So that's what the Saturday was.
Glad that they did that.
Yes, yes.
Because we went and listened that Saturday. And then that's when you presented the 3-day workshop. That's what you do.
Right.
And if we wanted to sign up, we could do that. And so Warren and I, looked at each other and said, because we weren't willing to give up. We knew that it was a good place to be in real estate investing. We were green at it. Right. So we believed in what you were saying. You sounded very genuine. So we signed up for the 3-day. And my husband prepped me before that, several days before. He said, don't look at them. When they call and ask you to sign up, do not say yes. We're not spending any more money. We've already spent $50,000. We're just going to hear this 3-day event and get what we can get, and we're out. I said, okay, So those were my instructions.
Right. So just to give a little background to that, since I kind of like spoke critically about the other guys that do like tours and do the 2 days and 3 days, similar to what we're doing. But it's actually not, because what we're doing is we have really only one product, which is our home study course, right? But you have a home study course, which at that package you got two. You got the home study course and you got a couple of tickets to the live event, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So we only have one thing, which is the home study course. And then I understand that I learned that early on when we started out 10 years ago, that people learn in different ways. So I am a home study course junkie, but they're all shrink wrapped right up there. So I don't actually open them because I'm not consuming information that way.
Right.
I am a binge consumer of information. So I need a live event that I can get on. I can go in, I can consume it all in one weekend, and I can come home. Yes. So what we started doing like 10 years ago when we started this is we started offering complimentary with the home study course for those who are like me, basically the 3-day live event and combining them too. But both teach the same thing, right? Both is the same thing. One is like in CDs. The other one is like live with Q&As and lots of Q&A and lots of interaction and making sure everyone has every question answered and going deeper where where the audience needs to go deeper and so on and so forth. But and then people were saying like, well, some people saying like, I need more information. So that's when we started offering the mentoring and the coaching. So because still some people are like, a lot of people were like, well, great, I get it, but I do need some accountability, or I need some extra hand holding, or I need some extra something. We're like, okay, let's offer it. But initially it just started as two different ways of offering the same content, and it's to this day. So we don't have a team that goes around the country speaking. We just do a few events a year, and whoever has bought our course gets a ticket to the live event and gets to come to the live event then. So just to give a little background of how this is different. So now you attended the live event. You said like, don't look anywhere. Then what happened?
And unfortunately, we had been burned, right? So it's great that we actually could hear the heart of you and Michele,
right? And
really hear the testimonies and all the other people sharing what they did and what they went through, and then that they took the chance, and then really going back and talking to either coaches. I mean, you left it open to be able to talk to people, network, and really get an understanding. So, and it wasn't like you were dangling things and saying, okay, you get this, and we could see something else is going to happen. And it was just, I don't know, we believed in it after we had the time with you all. Yeah. And so that really helped us go ahead and take the plunge. And we're really glad. I mean, we are really glad we did. We were very skeptical.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because it had not been but a couple of months. So we were really skeptical. We were seriously not going to do, anything else. But this was the best thing that we could have done.
All right. Well, that's thank you very much. I'm glad that happened. And so then what happened then?
Well, even after we signed up, actually, and then we came the mentoring part, and we wanted to do that, and we moved forward, and quite honestly, myself, I was moving forward with a lot of hesitancy at the same time, and I didn't really believe. I was doubting whether or not I could really be successful in real estate. Now, I tried to keep a brave front up for my wife, hey, I know what I'm doing here. We'll be fine. But on the inside, I know that I was really nervous about, moving forward and thinking,
basically, like, crap, what do we do now? We just signed up for that.
Exactly. And if this didn't work, how do you recover again from another, bad situation?
I mean, that's a very, very serious question, especially after having already spent $53,000. Now, ours is a fraction of that, but it's much less. But still, it's still a lot of money. So, what do we do now, and so on. So then, how long did it take for you to get your first deal?
Oh man, it was so exciting.
It was great.
What was it? 2 months?
About 3 months. 3 months. 3 months to get our very first deal. And we, when we got that acceptance, we accept your offer, and somebody actually was going to let us buy some property. And then we went through the process of marketing it. And then we started getting buyer phone calls. It was like I had to pinch myself because, this is the first time we had anybody want to buy anything from us. So,
and the exciting thing was it worked exactly as you said, exactly as our mentor said.
Right.
We followed the steps, and they said, if you follow these steps, it's going to happen. So when we got that first, I accept your offer, it actually came through email. I was like, Warren, somebody said, I accept your offer. What in the world? This really works.
Yes.
So then we went, we were like, okay, this step worked. Let's see if the marketing part works, and if we actually get a buyer, how that all works. So that was the exciting thing about it. We got our first deal, and every step that through the modules and through the mentoring, it worked exactly as you said.
That is exciting. That's super exciting. Then how much did you make on that deal? Was it a big deal, small deal?
It was a trouble deal, actually, by the way.
Yeah, a smaller deal. It was 11 acres, right? 11 acre deal.
Maybe $6,000.
I think we made about $6,000 or $7,000 on that first deal.
All right, that's nothing to scoff at, right? I mean, at the end of the day, the first deal doesn't make you wealthy, but what was the impact on your life on that first deal?
That's the whole thing. It started to build our confidence that we could actually do this. And me personally, I am a step kind of guy. Like, I like steps. I like to execute steps, and I didn't change anything. I wasn't going to change the letters that went out. I wasn't going to change the offer letters. I wasn't changing anything. I did exactly the way our coach told us, because he was already successful. And I mean, obviously, we'd seen somewhat of your success, but he was successful doing it. So I'm figuring we should just follow the same steps and not try to reinvent the wheel. But it was so exciting because it started to build our confidence. And I'm going to tell you honestly, even after that first deal, I was more confident. I said, this works. But inside myself, I was thinking, okay,
was that just a fluke?
Yeah, maybe. Exactly. Maybe, was this really something we could repeat over and over and over again? And lo and behold, it happened again.
And Jack, that's when my husband's dance starts, because every time we get a new contract, he has a little foot dance he does.
All right, we got to go see that one. Come on.
Yeah. And to this day, whenever we get a contract, I do that little foot dance.
Yeah, he does.
If I'm out at the post office and we get one, I do the little foot dance.
Well, let me see it.
Hey, you want to see it?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
As much as we can see here.
It's like.
All right.
A little bit of
salsa. That works. That is beautiful. That's exciting. So how many times have you had to dance already?
Oh, 52. 53, somewhere around there.
52 or 53 times. Now let's put a time horizon on that. When did you first start hearing about it? I think it must have been, because I only spoken at Azria 2 times in the last few years, and that must have been September of 2017, right?
That's correct.
That's when we heard
so
you.
September 2017. So then means you started in October or so, and then December, January 2018, you got your first deal. Now we're recording this in April of 2019. So in a span of about 15 to 18 months, you have 53 dances, 53 deals.
That's correct. Yes.
Woohoo! Now that's how I call success. I love that.
Awesome.
Now,
so exciting.
Tell us now. I would like for you to tell me. Congratulations. That's absolutely awesome. And tell me now about the craziest, whatever you want to define that as, most difficult, most fun, most challenging, most convoluted, whatever thing deal as well as the most profitable deal.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to do the challenge? I'll do the challenging.
The challenging. And
That was our first one. It was very difficult because there was an issue with the seller, and she had said she wanted to sell this property, and we were fine with that, and we got it to our attorney, and the day that we were going to close, the attorney said, "Uh-oh, you can't buy this. It's been foreclosed on." We were like, "What?" And I asked who owned it, and she said the bank owned it. And I asked which bank. So I was like, I'm not letting this go. I just really felt like I shouldn't let it go. So I called the bank, and I made all these calls. I said, I need to talk to your foreclosure department to see, what's going on with this property. And they said, "Oh, ma'am, we don't own that one. We own the one next door." So the same person had owned it. So they foreclosed on the house, not the land.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I called back the attorney, and she said, "Oh, okay." So we got all that straight. Then there was another lien that came through because this girl actually owed this lady like $35,000 for this land. And so then I was like, "Well, we're only paying you like $7,000. She's not going to want to get out of this." So I actually called the person she owed, and I said, "Would you be willing to take, I think it was $9,000 for this, And so that's why we ended up with only $6,000 profit, because some more money went out. So she said, "Yes, I'll be willing to sign that. I just want to get done with this." So we sent her a contract.
6 or 7 plus 9.
No, that was the total.
Oh, the total. So therefore the seller didn't really get anything.
Seller didn't get anything.
Oh, okay.
So we did that. And then it was get ready to close, and one more lien came through that the seller owed a credit card.
Right.
And they attached it to the land. So that was like $1,300.
$1,300.
So we were dwindling down, but we still were, up there. So we took care of that.
That's why it's so beautiful to make such low offers, right? When we follow our systems, we make 20-25% of market value offers. This is why, one of the reasons why, because stuff can still come up, and you're now at 30-40% of market value, but you now still have a margin to sell it. And then what happened next? Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Absolutely. So what's interesting about this one, we were marketing it, like crazy, and people were going to look at it behind this lady's house. It was sitting behind her house, and she had just moved in there a couple years ago, and she called her real estate agent. She said, "Would you please call them and ask them to take it off the market? I don't want anybody living behind me, and I don't want anybody else coming and asking me about this property. I want to buy it." And that was our buyer.
So the actual person that bought it from the foreclosure?
No, she bought the house from the foreclosure.
Yes, and then she bought your land too.
Yes,
and she bought our land too. Yeah.
All right. Well, so those pieces were meant to stay together, I guess.
Yes, so exactly. it took a while, because we actually got the contract in November, but we didn't actually close it until like February.
Oh wow! Now I have to tell you, this is your first deal, so my respect here, because that one was like really baptized you like the hard way, because like you showed. But the thing is, this is the difference between the winners and those who don't always win. You guys stayed on the ball. You followed. You didn't just let this deal go by the wayside. You continued. What do we have here? We have hi, this is Daisy, by the way.
Daisy.
Podcast. So you guys didn't just finish, just let a deal go. You kept at it, and you showed that stamina and perseverance that really sets the winners apart.
Yeah, it was quite a learning experience. We learned a lot about land, a lot about the closing process and foreclosures and terms, and it was great to get that victory.
Oh yeah, and for people, we had made no money. Remember, no money in the real estate. So for
house flipping,
for us, house flipping, and so this was our first deal, like ever. And to me, $6,000 was. I mean, that was great. That was good money,
Yeah, absolutely. It is good money. I mean, if you think about it, all you need to do is a deal like that a month, and you're making more than most people make in their jobs. So
exactly.
So that was our most difficult, I would say.
Yeah, and the best deal that I liked was our first seller financing deal. was a 29-acre parcel. We purchased for about $14,000, 29 acres, and we sold it for actually $38,000.
Oh, that's fine.
$38,000. But it was a seller financing deal, so it's a 72-month term where they pay us $500 a month for these, and it just keeps coming in every month. And this guy is like right on this money every month. Direct deposits right in our account. And for me, that was one of the best deals because I could actually see how we could possibly replace one of our incomes with the seller financing deals.
Absolutely. Now, what's the total profit on that deal once everything is paid off?
It's going to be 46,000.
46,000, yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So congratulations to that. Yes, and go ahead. You wanted to say something, Michele.
Well, I know you wanted our favorite deal, right? And I don't want this to sound cheesy at all. And I told my husband, I said, honestly, honey, my favorite deal is this LPG 2.0 program. Because, and I know it sounds so cheesy. It sounds like I'm selling something. But it honestly, because there's no limit to the income now that we can make. And it taught us how to grow our business and actually have a business of our own.
Right.
And Jack did not tell us to say this, but it's increased our living financially.
Yeah.
It's made us comfortable, and it's given us an avenue to actually leave a legacy for our children. I mean, we've been looking for this forever, it seems, and it's so exciting to find it. And that was a deal for me. And when we were talking about our favorite deals, we were talking about these two, and I said, Warren, honestly, I really want to share that. I know it sounds a little bit.
No, thank you. I mean, whatever shares. And I'm glad you said that. I didn't ask you to say that, but the LPG obviously means land profit generator, which is our program. Because yes, you actually took the bull by the horn. You actually implemented it, and those who do have success, and that's what separates you. You easily could have given up. It's like, oh my God, I got one deal, and that deal is really didn't fall through. Now, almost fell through multiple times. But let me ask you, between getting that first deal under contract and closing, there was like 2-3 months. In the meantime, did you get more deals accepted?
Yes. Yes.
And that probably helped as a motivator too. Like, okay, we got this first one. There's more coming. There's more going on. So this keeps working. But let's not let that go. But it probably gave you a little bit more extra confidence, right?
Yes. Yes, it did. Yeah. Yes, it did. I mean, it helped me a lot to have people calling and saying, we accept your offer. And
yeah. Absolutely. That's a beautiful sound to this day. I tell you that on both sides. Hey, I'll accept your offer. I'll buy the property. I'll buy the property.
That's right.
It's a beautiful sound any day. We just sold the property that we're going to make $115,000 on. And once it's all paid off, and it's still a beautiful sound, no matter where you are financially. Yeah, we sold another one for $3,600, and it's just as beautiful of a sound.
It is. And the other beautiful sound to all this is we're excited that we get to actually offer our buyers great property at this wholesale price.
Right.
Because we've actually been able to help people get property that they otherwise can't get, especially offering them seller financing or offering it at such a low price for them. And they're like, so ecstatic. They can build for their families. They can have, recreation. And that part is really rewarding and fulfilling for us.
Wonderful. Yes. Now, by the way, if you're listening to this right now or watching it on YouTube and you're wondering, what is that land profit generator program? How does it work? There's obviously, you can go to landprofitgenerator.com or put a link below there. But also there's other older podcast episodes and video podcast episodes. If you go to the first ones and so on, there's one where I'm alone or with Michele, my co-founder and wife, where we, same name as you, just with double L. And where we go and explain that in more detail how this works. My assumption here right now is that whoever really listens to this already kind of knows the basics of it. If not, just go through our feed of iTunes podcasts or YouTube videos, and we have lots of videos explaining the different parts of this business. So now, one other question for you guys is now, how does your life look today? You have 53 deals either done or in the process, and you have so you still both have jobs, or how does that work?
We do.
We made a choice to keep our jobs, even though some of the income that we have coming in, even from the seller financing deals, as well as the cash deals, probably could replace at least my wife's income. right now. But we've decided we want to put some money aside. We're looking for retirement, and we're paying off more bills, and so we just decided to hang in there for a little bit longer and keep the jobs. And
that's what I did. I had to back then because of the green card process. I couldn't afford to quit. I mean, would have had to leave the country if I quit. But so you guys do it by choice, and that's a very, very good choice. So now that means that you're actually doing that amount of deals part-time.
That's correct. Yes.
So walk us just through for another minute or so before we wrap up. Walk us through, how does your daily or weekly schedule look like around that? What do you do in each day and in different days in order to be able to do that many deals part-time? Because 50 deals in the housing world is a full-time job with probably a couple of staff members. In the land area, in 18 months, 53 deals in the works are done, is apparently a part-time job. So how our part-time business. So tell us a little bit about how does your structure of your week work for that? How do you make that happen?
Okay. I get up in the morning and I go straight to my day job. And a lot of times Michele will answer, we have people come in through Facebook. She'll be answering some of the requests that are people interested in buying property from us. So she may spend an hour or two there doing that. When my day job is done in the evenings, like around 4:30, I take a little break, get a little something to eat and 5 o'clock, I'm on doing my land analysis for the contracts or the those offers that are in pending preliminary reset, in our investment dominator. And so I'll go in and do land analysis so that we can get offers out to everyone on Saturday. We try to get the analysis done. And I try to finish at least, 4 or 5 of them an evening so they don't stack up. And then on Saturday mornings, we're ready to send out all of our offer requests.
Yes, so we do that weekly.
We do that weekly. And either on Sunday evening or Monday morning or Monday evening, I do the letternet printing, which sends our prospects to a mailing house. So we're working in different counties. So we send all of our county records that we're going to send out that week to letternet printing. I usually do that either on Sunday evening or Monday, get those out to ITI. And then they call us back the next day or send us an email and have us, proof what they sent back to us. And so basically that's a little in the evening. We work a couple hours in the evening after work. And depending on what we want to get done, Michele sometimes is a little more busy because she does the marketing piece. So she might be up, maybe do a few more hours of work in the evening. But basically a few hours in the evening, and then on the weekends we crank out our letters.
All right, so this is what it takes. I love love it that we're able to share that. That's beautiful, because what most people do on the weekends, or how does it compare to before you did anything in real estate? What were your weekends spent then?
Oh my gosh, our weekends were spent for doing all this analysis. Hours. I mean, literally hours of this analysis.
Even before that, before you were even started in real estate,
before real estate,
maybe shopping.
Yeah,
or going out,
watching TV, or
watching movies, or visiting friends or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with visiting with friends, and that everything has its place, right? But at the same time, you gotta put yourself first, and you guys are putting yourself first, and your own legacy and your own financial freedom is more important to you than going shopping or watching TV or hanging out with friends that you're really not necessarily, and I dare to say that, I don't know, but the same happened to us. Like, we love our friends, but we don't have to hang out with our friends every week.
Right.
So if we hang out with them once a month, that's enough. That gives us 3 weekends extra to actually get something done and bring our own life forward.
Right. Yes.
And so you guys are doing that. And was that easy, or was that a little bit of an adjustment?
It's an adjustment.
It was an adjustment, but I just want to share this real quick, Jack. With that adjustment comes a shift in our mindset. Mm-hmm. Our mindset is different now. And for a guy like myself, I've been 30 plus years in corporate America working for somebody. It's easy to get locked into the thought that you're dependent on a company to make money and to make income. So this business has shifted my entire mindset. When we realize we can make money through our company, we don't need these corporate positions. It's a very empowering place to be now in my mind. It's like just those seller financing deals, you don't know how it has shifted my entire way of thinking.
Oh, I do, because they shifted mine too back then.
Exactly.
Exactly how it is.
It's like I now have control of my financial destiny, and I can work harder, and we can produce more. So that's what the biggest blessing to me is. My thinking is different.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just want to make sure that was.
No, I appreciate that. So great. So what would you tell somebody who is like out there, stumbled across this podcast or this video, and they don't know where to start, and they're looking for they're looking for a different way than the 8 to 5 in corporate America? What do you ask them? What would you tell them?
Jack, do this, because if you do it, when you do it, not if, but when you decide to really jump in and do this, follow it, exactly as they tell you, because because Jack and Michele have proven this, and those that have been in this for years have proven it, that it works. Mm-hmm. There's no sense of reinventing the wheel, which is wonderful, because you don't have to figure out your business. It's a great model. And I would just say to devote the time. If you have 2 hours in the evening, that you can devote, then just devote that, and don't get distracted. Go ahead and record your movies that you want to see and watch them later, but just devote that time that you've decided for your business. If it's just weekends that you have, then devote the weekends. If it's 4 hours on Saturday, 4 hours on Sunday, or 8 hours, whatever it is, because everybody doesn't have the same amount of time. But what you do have, devote it to that, and it will work. The process will work. It may take a little bit of different road for you, but you're going to be doing something anyway. So learn this and do this, and watch this work for you.
And I would share with them, Jack, real quick. I'm not a philosopher, and I share this with some group of people a while back. But you don't have to be great to start, but you definitely have to start if you ever intend to be great. Exactly
right. Right. Even an inch forward beats even just doing a step a day beats being on the couch. Right.
Exactly. Yes.
That's my German non-philosopher way of saying it.
It works.
All right. With that, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Congratulations to you guys' success. We are super excited to have you as customers, as friends, as students, as successful examples of how this works. And yeah, so for everyone, if you're watching this right now, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you give us the thumbs up and share this. Grab the link from YouTube, share it for social media and so on. If you're listening to this on iTunes, make sure you give us a 5-star review with the text underneath it. And we will love to do that. That allows us to reach more people, share the word about this non-competition technique out there that allows you to buy properties for 5 to 25 cents on the dollar, just like Warren and Michele are doing. So with that, guys, thank you very much for being on the show.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, and that concludes our episode of the Forever Cash Life Real Estate Podcast. See you in the next show.
Enjoyed this episode? Then make sure you like, subscribe, and post your comments and questions below the video. We're looking forward to hearing from you.